All right, I want to just read to you what some coaches are saying. It's not one. These are multiple coaches around the NFL. Oh, my goodness. This kid is unbelievable. He has great vision, size, power. He will block. I can't say enough good things about him. He should have left college 3 years ago. He's so big and strong. He's going to be an incredible NFL player. Another NFL exec says his stop-start is special. It's something you might see in a smaller back, but he's got the mass and can run through you. He's impressive, and he's a bad matchup for linebackers. Another executive then said, he's so compact. His patience and his great change of direction, his change of speed, when the ball's in his hands, he's elite. But wait, there's more.
I know where you go. Yeah, you get me fired up over a certain individual that you got me fired up over last week, which would completely make no sense for this team to draft.
Well, I'm going to tell you how it could make sense. Because another executive then went on to say, Mike, I think he's the best player in college football. Watch him. I get why every NFL team doesn't pick a running back in the top 5, but man, he's physical. He is elite. Now, that's not me. That's various NFL executives talking about this particular player, and that player is Bijan Robinson. How could the Falcons end up picking him? Well, listen, if the Falcons end up trading with the Titans, who currently have the 11th pick, and the Titans wanted to move up, which this is very possible. They want to move, and they want to go get their guy. And think about it from this standpoint, Falcon fans. We see our top picks, the guys we projected at corner and at edge rusher off the board. Here come the Titans, and they want to make a deal. So we then trade the 8th and 225th pick, which is in the 7th round, for the Titans' 11th in the 1st and the 73rd pick in the 3rd round, along with the 186 in the 6th. We make the deal. They get who they want at 8. We slide back. We gain some picks, and guess who's there at 11?
I'm going to guess from Texas,
Bijan Robinson.
All right. I mean, see, this is
elite,
This
Mike.
is along the lines. I'm feeling a little bit of deja vu in 15 when we had a guy that was a 1,000-yard runner in Devontae Freeman, but Todd Gurley was available.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, you had hindsight's 20/20 that Todd Gurley eventually caught arthritis in his knee and wasn't the same guy. But for about 5 years, he was the most electrifying running back in the NFL. Look,
a small trade down, by the way, for the Titans.
Next to nothing, from 8 to 11.
It's not a big deal. And if they are we just talked about this the other day when we said, are the Titans in the hunt for a quarterback, Mike? If you think that guy's going to be gone at 11, you got a chance to get to 8, then you go make it happen.
See, this is why you were asking me why, again, and Josina Anderson had a story today saying that the Colts and the Raiders, they're going to do another round of interviews, and the Falcons or maybe one of these teams are going to talk to a guy, Anthony Richardson, out of Florida, which some would say, why would you make these just demonstrative statements about your support for your current quarterback and then go and certainly start talking about, Anthony Richardson? Maybe for leverage, maybe for something like this. Maybe Tennessee is a team which wants to jump in the top 10. Maybe it's Will Levis for Tennessee.
You're right.
So that's why you do have these conversations. So it is interesting. Look, Desmond Ridder is going to be our quarterback, but and this is nothing against Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier did a fantastic job, but this guy's next. Carl just gave you all the story. That's the next level, dude.
Yeah. And again, that's 4 separate front offices talking about what they like about Bijan Robinson, and that's 4 different teams. He's going to go in the first round. There's no doubt. I don't know where he's going to go, but this scenario, and these are the things Mike and I were talking about when we talk about these mock drafts. It's Dukes and Bell, Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. We're talking about our Falcons because this is a scenario that draft night we'll be sitting there and we'll go, wait a minute, what? There's been a trade. And then you're going to be like, wait, what are we doing, right? And that's when you get a little bit antsy if you end up going, all right, well, why do we move out of the top 10 and we just gained 2 more additional picks and the guy that we're projected to get is still there? I just believe, Mike, if you are desperate, and that's what a lot of these teams are. Listen, the Carolina Panthers are desperate. They've gotten this quarterback thing wrong since Cam left. They're desperate to get it right. They were willing to give the Bears the package that they wanted to go up and make sure that we were going to have first dibs. When you get desperate, Mike, and you need that position, you do moves like this.
That's the other thing. Some people are saying the Carolina Panthers have done a snow job about C.J. Stroud, and they really do want Bryce Young. So much to the point that the Texans, who if they're stuck with C.J. Stroud, who they don't really want, they want Bryce, they're willing to trade back and talk to somebody about moving. And again, this is why these guys all talk to everybody and why we develop, in some cases, what's the perception of leverage. But yeah, C.J. Stroud probably going to be the second guy. I think Bryce Young is who Carolina wants, and that's basically a lot of rumors to that effect. Anthony Richardson. Who's in love with Anthony Richardson to move all the way up to number 3? See, that's where it gets interesting. But this is why I do think there'll be a lot of action, and the action is we're right in the middle of it potentially, especially if you get down if Richardson or Will Levis is down there at 8. But let me just throw this at you.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, you're selling me. I'm down with it. The team with the worst defense in the NFL the last 5 years goes tight end, wide receiver, running back in the first 3 years of the new general manager.
Well, think about what we did in free agency. You've pretty much addressed defense throughout your entire free agent planning.
Short term.
Yes, but you got to think about the fact that whatever you do, and I've always said this more times than not, you're not going to double up. Guys, we're not going to use all our picks on defense, okay? That's not how this works. So you just addressed your D-line. You addressed your secondary. You think your linebackers are going to be good, and we still don't know what the deal is with Rashaan Evans and whether that's going to play out or not. How does Arthur Smith feel now about how to score more points? He needs more offensively. How do you take pressure off of an offensive line that you're concerned about, Mike? If you are, some people are, some people aren't.
That's a convenient narrative.
Thank you, Art. You have more dynamic players. You have guys like this. This is how. So I'm not saying they're going to do it. All I'm saying is it makes sense when you say, all right, I get it, and some fans may not like it, but if I'm telling you the corner, let's just say Christian Gonzalez is gone and the edge rusher you wanted is gone, this makes total sense because the way that he ranks, we're talking about one of the top 6 or 7 players in this draft.
And again, you look at how did Daniel Jones get his career back on track in New York? Because Saquon Barkley was healthy for the first time in 2 seasons. And Saquon Barkley, again, some would say the running back position has been so devalued, you don't take one of the top 10, but Bijan Robinson, to your point, is so different. But let me just counter with 2011, all I heard was Ryan Kerrigan and J.J. Watt and Alden Smith, all these guys that we should have taken, and we move up and get Julio Jones.
Sure.
Christian Gonzalez we need. You could argue Skoronski we need. Lucas Van Ness. All those guys are things we could really need at number 8. So that's where it gets. It's all about the philosophy.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is what we don't know. Is this guy rated higher than those guys on their board?
Right. And if he is, then there's your decision.
Because if you're telling me you're going to take the best player available, that's the best player available. It's Dukes and Bell, Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.
Hey, last hypothetical. I love the Bijan Robinson. What if we're at 8 and Jalen Carter's there?
Well, that's a different story. This is based on a trade.
Down. This is moving out of 8.
Correct. This is the Titans coming down.
But if you're at 8 and you're getting an offer.
You know where I'm at. Listen, I've been on Nolan Smith just because of his versatility.
Or Jalen Carter, yeah.
But if Jalen is there, he's just a game changer and a difference maker. And if you're telling me we got probably the number 1 overall pick in this draft and you're getting him at 8, you're getting a steal.
Right.
That's value.
And I just think the defense has got to be addressed. And look, I love Calais Campbell as an edge. You could still argue that edge is still a guy you got to get, unless you really see. The other thing is with your new coaching staff that you brought to the defensive line, is Ebiketie going to really pop? Is he going to be that elite guy?
Coach him up, baby. That's why Ryan Nielsen's here. Coach him up.
All right.